shine with rhyme, move 'em around. Take it slow, watch the smoke we blow. Bring California swing and the sting for show. Well, hey there, baby doll, dance the go-go. Off a little mentally, I see it in slow-mo. Hollywood, the east side, Hub City, and Frisco. Gallos at the playas, fires up in the disco. Whoa, whoa, oh, now here we go. Mira, delincuentes, bum rush the show. Aquí in Cali, where trees so sweet, and these habits is feeling Ari on this rugby.
Welcome to the Double I Show.
Incoherent Idiocy. I'm R.W. King, and with me always is...
Sweet T.
What's going on, T? How you doing? Another great night tonight.
Yes, it is.
All right, a little time for some Double I experience. What do you think about that, brother?
Well, fuck, that's what I came for.
All right, man, but I mean, I was just getting pumped up.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I came for, man. I didn't come here for any other reason but to be pumped up for a little Double I.
All right, man. Hey, before we get started, let's go ahead and give a shout out to Dr. X. Dr. X, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. Good looking out.
Yeah, big shout out to Dr. X.
Hey, Dr. X, how you doing today, man? How's everything going? Yeah, looking good. Hey, T.
Yeah.
This is the last show for Dr. X, man, for a week.
Yeah, I was just going to say, don't sound like, don't make it sound like it's a last show and he's not going to be back.
Well, doesn't it really depend on how Uncle Rico does?
Well, yeah, kind of.
No pressure, dog. No pressure today.
We love you. We got you.
Yeah, I mean, you can hang out with us no matter what.
Right, exactly. You can come.
Look at his face, dog.
You can come and look at Uncle Rico and kind of hang out. Maybe we'll interview you one day.
Oh, man, don't even get
You're
me going.
Dick,
Dude, you're fucking horrible.
You're a fucking dick.
Guy,
that's all I got to say, King.
Hey, but again, we want to thanks for everybody experiencing what we're talking, what we're doing. It's just growing, T. And again, shout out to everybody for listening, man. We appreciate you.
Juggernaut, the show's just growing. Fuck, it's crazy. It really is because, we talk about this, just between us, and sometimes we'll bring Dr. X on this conversation. And, it's funny because we talk about privately what a lot of guys, what you guys don't know about, but I'm going to let you in on a little something. When we talk about not really just, how great things are rolling for us and this and that. No, we talk about how great it is that we have such awesome fans. We talk about from your guys' experience about how you guys are making this thing possible for us, and we're just humbled. We're completely humbled by the whole thing.
Absolutely, man. And that's what it is. We talked last show about the incident that I had at my local liquor store.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know what I mean? And that's sort of like our justification for being here, right? Somebody actually recognized what we do and who we are.
And they appreciated it.
And that's even better, man, telling us what's going on. And it's a good feeling, man.
It is. It's nice. Again, it's humbled, but we're just going to keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. So, hey, again, you know what? Hey, T?
Yeah?
This show's going to drop. It's going to be around the 4th of July, so we want to say happy birthday to America.
Happy birthday, America.
Yeah, happy July 4th to everybody listening to the show. So we got some different things going today. We're just going to talk about some, simple subjects and see, expand on them a little bit. But we got a little extra taste for you guys at the end of the show.
Ooh, I'm waiting for that one.
Yeah, man. We got a little extra bit with who we're going to call Sparky.
Sparky?
Yeah, man. It's going to be good, too.
Oh, okay. I can't wait for that shit then.
So, all right, let's just go ahead and start getting into it, man. So the last couple shows we talked about, one of the shows we talked about a couple times was about mass shootings, bro.
Yeah.
One of the things
you and I kind of got into it a little bit.
Yeah, and it is what it is. We talk about gun control.
Yeah.
And you know what? We talked about how the media just, they magnify these things, and it's all over the country. And in the last few days, there's been a lot of shit going on with cops. And there's been 2 female policemen killed.
Yep.
Very young in their service.
I think one was a rook, right?
Yeah, man. And it's tough, dude. I mean, they're going out there and they're trying to serve and protect. And I think for the most part, they have good things going. But, man, it's just tough out there, T.
That's brutal, man.
What I mean? Fuck. You leave your house not even knowing you're going to come back.
It is. And, but I hate to say it because it sounds really bad. But, that's what they signed up for.
You knew the job was dangerous when you took it.
You knew it was dangerous, but that still doesn't make it right.
You're right. And I think it sort of goes back to almost a discussion we had, right? How easily accessible these things are by all means.
Yes.
Legal, illegal. And there has to be some better control. And those are the things that we spoke about on this show. And it's sort of affecting these folks now. Another story, dude. Did you hear about that cop in Minnesota? Minneapolis or something?
Yeah, that was kind of, well, okay, so this went down a while ago, though.
Yeah. No, it went down a while back. He's been in...
But there was just a recent update, right?
Well, they just went to trial and they sentenced him, dude, to 12 years for murder.
That's tough, man.
And the story was, man, it's a tough story, like we talk always, man. We you know, we support police officers. We support law enforcement. I've had a lot of dealings with law enforcement personally.
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends that
Wait. Are you saying you've been in the back of a cop car a bunch of times? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just clarifying. That's all.
That part too. You know what I
okay.
mean? But I think towards the end of it, you know, I mean, some of my business partners and things, I had some retired policemen.
And I got some buddies in LAPD.
You know,
Sheriff.
I used to do some, you know, shooting with some guys, and they were police officers.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, I mean, there's a lot of stuff there, and it just sucks because sometimes these guys get caught into these things. And what happened to this guy was he was like a model cop. He was just like he was the community cop, top community cop award for the first 2 years he was on the force. He was always his spare time helping kids, doing things. He was just a great guy.
Yeah.
Never had an issue, clean record. Got called out to a domestic violence. Said there was some kind of, actually it wasn't domestic violence, it was some kind of burglary. And he went around the back of the house and was in an alley. And when they called him out, they said, be careful because the perpetrator has a gun.
Oh, okay.
So he's already on high alert.
Yeah, I was just going to say he's on heightened alert at that point.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
Adrenaline's pumping.
So he parks his vehicle in the back, exits the vehicle, and draws his gun because he's not sure what he's going to encounter, which is the proper procedure.
Yeah, anybody would do that.
The person who called him, the female from the house, somehow startled him, snuck up behind him, or he didn't hear her.
I think she was in her car.
Well, no, she wasn't.
Oh, I thought she was.
No, And he said that he heard a loud bang, and he turned around, and he saw a person and shot him. And he shot the lady in the stomach.
And she was the one that
she's the one that actually made the call.
That made the initial call for him to come out.
Correct.
Yeah.
So once he did that, he knew he got the wrong person. They tried to help her, and she succumbed to her injuries.
Yeah.
And she died. And this was going on for over a year, and he was incarcerated the whole time. And they just sentenced him to 12 years.
Damn, dude.
Second-degree murder. And that's just sort of tough, man.
That is tough. You know, especially when you got a good cop like that. I mean, if you got a good cop and the guy, like you said, he was the poster boy, you know, from his record, from everything that we've learned about the guy. So he wasn't one of these bad apple kind of guys that you hear about. That's tough. That's tough not just because, you know, he fucked up, but it's tough because you're just doing your job and it goes sideways.
And I think that's the point I was making. It goes sideways, and now your life has changed for one moment in time.
Your family, everybody.
Yeah. And I don't even know his family status, T. I don't know if he's married, has kids. I don't know. But imagine if he did.
Well, he's got brother and sisters at least, or maybe, or parents and mom and dad.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
You know what? That's my point. Imagine if he had small kids. And now he's in jail for 12 years.
For 12 years. And
I mean, it wasn't like he went to a liquor store, robbed it, and shot the guy behind the counter.
Right.
He was doing his job, and protecting people.
You know what's messed up about the whole thing, too, is the victim. You know?
Absolutely.
I mean, the poor lady, she was doing something right. She was trying to help. She was trying to be, you know, the neighbor to make sure that things are her neighborhood safe, and she's doing it the right way. And what happens?
Yeah, no, and the thing that sort of got me, T, is I was watching this thing on the news, and they showed this guy's closing statement, and this guy was just bawling like a baby, apologizing 100 times for what happened to his family.
That's how you know he's not that kind of guy.
And he was just like, you know, every day that goes by, every minute that I have a spare minute in my brain, I'm bringing this up, and I wish I could take it back.
Yeah.
He says, and I'm sorry for what happened. I truly am. He says,
rough.
But I never meant to do it.
Yeah.
And you know, it's just sort of weird, man, that these things happen. And then let's be honest, T, right? I mean, there's some dick cops out there.
Oh, yeah, there's plenty.
You know what I mean? And that's sort of what's sort of messed up. Because I think even, like, you know, our listeners, right? I mean, they're probably listening to this like, oh, man, these guys are really sucking on cops. But the reality is, guys, we all need them. Because if we didn't have them, there's lawlessness.
Exactly.
And the reality is that they do protect us, and they do help us even when we don't see it. So we have to sort of have appreciation. There are some of those guys, and because sometimes we're stereotyped or looked at differently or whatever else, and we get to business once in a while, just cooperate, deal with it, and hopefully everything will be good. You know, I mean, we all watch these TV shows and things, T, and, you know, like that one that's out right now on Netflix I was talking to you about, that Do You See Me Now or something like that.
Right.
And it's about the 5 guys from the Central Park 5 or something.
Yeah.
And, you know, yeah, they make mistakes. And sometimes it sort of sucks because the way the system's set up, they know they made a mistake, but they try to cover it up because they need the conviction to justify the money.
Yeah.
They just can't keep throwing money away.
Well, but
And that's what sort of sucks.
and that's what fucks everything up. That's what hurts their reputation in the community. You're right. It really messes everything up. But there's a lot of bad apples too. I mean, let's face it too. Not only are there dick cops out there, but there are cops out there that are of all walks. Just say they're human, just like all of us are. So some of us are, let's say, racist. There's racist cops. Unfortunately, they're part of all walks of life and shapes and everything of society as a whole.
No, absolutely they are. And that's the thing too, right? A lot of them, I think, get into it and they don't realize what it is, and some of them can't handle the power. It's like a power trip, right?
Yeah, and some of them get into it because they want the power.
I actually had a good friend in high school, and after this guy was a police officer, I really didn't know who the fuck he was anymore.
He changed.
Yeah, absolutely did.
Yeah, no.
And I stopped hanging around with him.
A buddy of mine, when he was becoming a cop, he was, he worked a normal job and everything, and he wasn't old, but he wasn't young. He was in his 30s when he decided to become a cop, and we played hockey together, and another guy on the team was pretty close with all of us. And once he became a cop, he stopped hanging around with us, specifically when that guy was around, because he didn't want to be around a cop, which was kind of fucked up.
Yeah, some people think that way too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, But the funny thing is it's like, okay, well, what are you doing that makes you not want to be around somebody because of their profession?
Well, no, but don't you think maybe it's more the negative perception that the society is putting out there for police officers nowadays?
Maybe, but I would say that, yes, that might be right.
I mean, look at even all the movies, T.
Right.
There's a lot of movies out there that show corruption in the police force, right?
But hear me out, right? I would say that that's a good point if you just met the guy. But this was a guy that you had been around, you had been on a hockey team, on a sports team with, as a teammate for years. You know what I mean? We're talking 6-7 years. And all of a sudden, just because the guy becomes a cop, you stop talking to him.
Yeah, well, I mean, for whatever reason or motivation that person had, it's, some people are built that way, T.
Yeah, no,
and I think going back to your initial point, maybe what was he hiding or afraid of this guy seeing? Or maybe nothing. Maybe it's just his thought or his feelings. You know what I mean?
Which is kind of weird. It always struck me as odd. It just kind of like...
No, and you're right. It is odd, but fuck, isn't there some odd motherfuckers out there?
Oh, there's a lot of odd motherfuckers out there.
I mean, yeah, it's unfortunately, man, sometimes you don't even realize why or how people are thinking the way they are.
Yeah. No, it's kind of crazy, man.
No, and I agree with that, man. It's sort of like, shit, man, what do you do? Right? But it going back to it, man, I mean, fuck, isn't that part of the problem, is the negative perception that's being put out there for cops?
Yes. Yeah. But I mean, at the same time, in some cases it's earned.
No, I agree.
You know what I mean?
Agree. But the perception generally is that there's corruption, they have problems, whatever else, you know what I mean? And the reality is it's probably a minority in a lot of areas, but then you hear about like whole precincts that are corrupt.
Right.
And things like that. But if you take I guess like the average number, it's probably still pretty small. Right?
Yeah, yes, exactly. But we do hear that. Now, here's something funny then. Okay. You're talking about perception, right? So why is it that cops are so negatively perceived, but firefighters are beloved? They're both public servants.
Well, because I don't think...
Because a firefighter's not trying to bust people?
Not trying to bust them, but I don't think they ever get into situations where they have these questionable killings. You know what I mean? Because, I mean, look at how many of those happen, like these young African-American kids, black kids. There's a couple of them right now that are still standing out, and there's one on HBO called 16 Shots.
Yeah.
And it's about a black kid who got killed by a police officer who said that he thought he saw a gun.
It was a cell phone?
I don't know. Maybe a cell phone.
Was that the one that happened? He was in the backyard. He was like in his grandma's or his aunt's backyard or something, and he had a cell phone in his hand. They said it was a gun.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, because they showed the trailer and they actually had the body cam from the cop.
Yeah. And
it was a traffic stopper. The guy was out in the street. He shot him 16 times in the street, dog. He emptied his gun on him.
Fuck, dude! But this happens all the time.
And the kid's screaming and yelling. The guy's just sitting there blasting him.
You got to understand, this is cell phone era, right? So there's camera. Everybody has a camera. Everybody has a high quality camera on them now.
Right.
Right. And so I think the reason why you said there's perception is certain way is because it's not necessarily a perception, because it's the reality in a lot of cases too, where these bad cops act certain ways, and now it's more noticeable because everybody has a fucking camera.
Okay, right. But so we're talking about the guy with 16 shots, right? I haven't got into it. I don't know what the guy's record was.
Yeah, I'm not saying him particularly like that.
But yeah, and that's the point. Sometimes it's just a guy made a mistake, like the guy in Minneapolis we talked about.
Sometimes it is a mistake and sometimes it's not.
And that's my point, is those guys won't even get the fair shake because of the perception. That's what I'm thinking.
Well, that sucks.
You know what I mean? Because the reality is, that guy should have got, I mean, if you are going to incarcerate him, you incarcerate him for 4 or 5 years, half of it time served. 5 years out of your life's a lot. 12 years is fucking half your life to 30 of your life, possibly. Especially at that age left, right?
Well, I don't know how old the guy was.
He looked like he was mid-30s.
Was he?
Like, he looked like that. He might have been, a little aged the last year.
Yeah.
But he might be a little bit less than that, but around there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So if you're in there for 12 years, how many more years you got?
No matter which way you look at it, it's just a fucked up situation. It really is. No matter which way you look at it. You can't spin it in a positive way at all.
You just can't, man. And that's a tough thing, man. And people, like you see these infomercials and stuff about trying to recruit for the sheriff's department, trying to recruit for the LAPD. Who the fuck wants to get into that?
I'll tell you another one, man. I was in an airport recently. You may have seen it when you went, to, what was it, Texas?
Yeah, I went to Texas.
Yeah. So when you were in Texas, you may have seen it. I don't know, because you weren't on the international side, but I don't know if they had the signs up or anything, but I saw signs when I was in the airport for recruiting for the Customs and Border Patrol agents too.
Yeah, no, I've seen those for quite a while.
And there was just a shootout with a Border Patrol agent at the San Isidro border crossing. And that was like a couple weeks ago. So they're in the line of fire too, man.
No, yeah, absolutely. And I think it doesn't happen a lot down there, the gunplay.
It's more rare, but still you're kind of out there. You never know what the hell's going to happen.
You're talking about another cop story, man, and I know you live in this area. Just a week ago or so, didn't an off-duty cop shoot somebody in a Costco?
Yeah,
Did you hear about that?
No, hear about it. Dude, I was there I wasn't in the Costco when it happened. I was right down the street, and all of a sudden, I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Tons of sirens, tons of helicopters. I had no idea what was going on, man. So when we get home and we start looking it up and there was still nothing, finally a couple hours later, holy shit, there was a shooting at the Costco.
Did you hear about all that shit?
Yeah, so it was an off-duty cop and he shot and killed an autistic man, because he's not a boy, he was a man.
Correct.
But he was what do they call non-audible, so he didn't speak. The cop claims that the guy attacked him from behind and that he feared for his life. Now, there's a lot of conflicting reports coming out saying that was nowhere remotely the case.
Well, not even that. Like you said, this guy is an autistic older gentleman, and he is cared for by his mother and father. Yeah. And they were both shot too.
Now, the father was okay immediately. Like they said, he was fine. He was alert and everything. The mother was in critical, but now they're saying that she's going to make it. She's going to be okay.
Right. But the last report I read was that they were both tagged in critical condition when they went into the emergency room.
Right.
And the dad did have to have some kind of surgery or something to remove some of the stuff.
Right.
And they were both in ICU, I think, because their age.
Probably.
But, man, that's a tough one, too. See, and the other part of it, too, was this guy said he was attacked from behind and this guy hit him in the head, but he had a small child. He was holding a small child, the off-duty police officer.
Right.
So, I mean, I think that sort of, I guess, feeds into, your heightened security type of thought, right? You have your child with you.
But there are people that are saying that that's not necessarily the case of what happened. I think the guy, some people were saying that the guy bumped into him, not attacked him from behind, just bumped into him by mistake, and the cop turned around and started yelling at him. And so an argument broke out, and then the cop drew his weapon. So there's a lot of conflicting reports right now.
The reality is, though, T, there's cameras.
Yeah, that's what I'm
waiting. If it's in Costco, they got cameras everywhere. So it's already being looked at. Something's happened. So yeah,
It'd be interesting to find out what plays out, what the truth when it finally comes out.
And that's just tough, man. And it's tough, like you said. It's at one moment in time where you have a lapse or something happens or you think something else, and here you go again. You empowered a regular person to be able to walk around with a gun at all points.
But how do you turn it off?
You can't. Because
you can't.
Yeah, because they're on alert at all points. It's how they're trained.
Yeah.
And, like I said, I have friends who are police officers now, and they carry all the time.
So does mine.
So they have to, and they understand what the purpose is. And none of my friends actually are, I guess, dick cops. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I know they talk about...
They just hang around with dick.
Yeah, exactly. But I know that they talk about certain things sometimes, and sometimes they have to be stern or they have to be a dick.
Yeah.
It's just part of it because the guys they're dealing with are just acting too stupid.
Yeah.
So they have to put their foot down. They have to fucking take control of the situation. And sometimes they have to do it with physical force.
Yeah.
And that's sort of what they're trained to do. But these situations like this out in the public, when this guy's looking like a regular person and then draws a weapon and shoots down a family, that's a little tough, dude.
Yeah. And you got to do... And I'm not saying that the cop did anything wrong because we don't really know the situation fully. But I think the police departments in their training have to do a better job at trying to teach these officers that when they are off duty, how not to let it escalate out of control.
No, absolutely. That's the main thing. Not just that, but to control yourselves.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, they have to control the everyone in the situation. And themselves. Yeah, and that's the thing that I think
there's a lot of psychological stuff that goes on with being a cop. I'm not just talking, on them. I'm talking about, they learn a lot of psychology on how to handle a situation and how to handle people and to speak to them a certain way.
Right. And the reality is some people take that to heart and they really practice it, and some people sort of blew it out one ear out the other.
Yeah. Blow it out your ass. I don't care. Just give me a gun.
Yeah, no, then that's a lot of thinking.
Yeah. So it's kind of crazy, King. I don't know, man. It's kind of fucked up what's going on around there. Just lately, it kind of just seems like all of a sudden, all at once, this shit's been happening.
No, yeah, you're right. And it just seems like, like you said, it's just so much in the last couple of weeks, right?
Yeah.
And again, T, is this sort of like the media sort of popping this out? That's been happening. They haven't put it in the forefront. And something triggered it, or
no? I think, like I was saying before, man. There's cell phones. There's social media. There's so many other ways. So now it's coming out a lot more too. People aren't being quiet anymore.
Well, it's been like that since Rodney King.
It really has. That changed. That changed the landscape.
Whole deal, and we were around during that time.
We were. I remember that shit.
There was everything going on.
The riots came pretty damn close to where we were.
Yeah, no, absolutely did. You know what I mean? So
it's just kind of weird, man.
I think I got some toilet paper in the riot from the store.
That's it?
Yeah, because the store was empty.
You're fucking
But no,
weak,
they were
dude.
dropping it when they were running out. So I was like, fuck it, I'll pick it up.
Oh, so you weren't even... come on, man.
I'm not about looting, dog.
Why not?
No, just not into it.
I'll kick your ass like a looter in a riot.
No, because it's karma, dog.
Yeah.
You get karma bites you in the ass every time. You steal one fucking thing out of there. Now, I did steal, but that was already down the block. Fuck it, what am I going to do? Just leave it there? Someone else going to pick it up? Plus, I needed some toilet paper, dog. So I remember.
Was it at least 2-ply for you?
I don't even remember, man, but it was a big old pack, dude, like a 36 roll pack or something.
So was it like a budget pack? Because if I was looting, I would only take good shit.
No, it looked like one of those Costco packs, but it was at a store downtown.
Right.
And they had just fucked up that store downtown.
But a lot of those stores downtown, they carry the cheap shit.
Hey, it worked, dog. I didn't have to buy it for a while. It didn't matter how much I used. I was good for a while.
So you're doing like the 30 wipes, It took you 30 wipes to get clean because it's so thin. You got to like fucking curl that shit up or
no,
what?
you got to make sure your fingernails are cut.
Oh, yeah. You don't want to scrape it.
No, you go right through it, dog, when you're digging in the cornhole, dog.
But that's what I'm saying. You're going to scrape and then under your fingernails going to have all kinds of shite, dude. You don't want that shit.
Well, I don't want to break the fucking toilet paper, man. That's my point. You know what I mean? I don't care if I got a nail or not. My finger's going to smell like shite, dude.
Fuck.
Speaking of shite, dog, one of the things that we
why do we got to speak of shite?
I don't know.
Let me just ask you that. Why?
It sounded good right now, man.
Okay.
What about all this shit that they have out there in these free giveaway and food? You hear about that shit? So they just had one for the basketball finals, right?
Yeah, we kind of touched on that a little bit.
Now they have one because last week was summer solstice. So Dairy Queen was giving out free ice creams on summer solstice.
Fuck, where was I? I missed that one. I like DQ.
That's what I'm saying.
I missed that one,
I
G.
But what do you think of those things, man? Do you think it's just a marketing scheme to get people in?
Of course it is.
I mean, right? They're not really giving a shit about anything, right? They're not being patriotic. They're not doing all
they
that.
give you the first of all, they give you the smallest fucking sample ever. Okay, you know what is it when we mentioned the 7-Eleven when they have the Slurpee day? You don't get the big fucking Slurpee. The what is it, 54 ounce?
You get like a special one.
Yeah, you get the special one that's like a shot glass. Right? You don't get anything that's real. The DQ's giving them the smallest fucking thing, probably 2 bites, and that's it. You know?
Yeah, no, I'm with you, man. So, I mean, but what do you think of that stuff? I mean, would you, or if you were available, would you have went to Taco Bell for your free taco?
You know what? I forget about it.
I did too.
I always forget about it. So,
but for me, man, it's like 2 to 6 p.m. I get out of work 5:30 or 6.
But here's the thing.
You know?
Here's the thing. All right. And this is psychological too, because they know what they're doing. They're giving you, let's say, a taco, right? So Taco Bell's giving you a free taco. They're hoping that you feel kind of bad about just getting a free taco and walking out and say, thanks, G, deuces. You know what I mean? No, they're figuring, okay, well, since we're getting him a free taco, he's going to order other stuff.
No, you know what I read Taco Bell's thought is that if you come in and get a free taco and buy a small Coke, they've already made a profit on both.
Well, because the Coke costs them nothing practically.
The Coke itself, right? It's like a penny. The only thing that costs there is a cup.
Yeah.
The cup, the lid, the straw.
Which is, I heard, is like in some cases 10 to 15 cents for everything.
Not for Taco Bell, dog. They're buying millions. You know what I mean? They're getting that shit for a couple pennies, dude.
Yeah, it could be pennies.
Look at the buying power those fucking guys got.
True.
You know what I mean? So you know it. I mean, they're, give me 10 million small cups next week.
Yeah.
Okay, it's only going to be $600,000. Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they have that buying power. But still, that's all they're hoping for is one drink. And we did discuss it, and they are doing it at the slowest times.
Yeah.
They only give away this shit at the slowest times.
Yeah, because they want to be able to
boost some revenue.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. They're hoping that guys go in there and buy other stuff.
No, absolutely. That's the whole purpose, right? And that's what I was trying to get to. Is that really what's going on?
But see, I feel I fall for that. Okay, I'm that kind of guy where I'm like, I can't just go in there and just take free things and say deuces, I'm out. No, fuck, while I'm there, I'm gonna buy something. Okay, give me a steak quesadilla or something like that. You know what I mean?
Oh no, fuck that. I'll go in there for the taco and then roll down the street to the next one and get another taco. You got a cup of water? Fuck, dude. Fuck all that. You know what I mean? I'm gonna fucking go to hit as many of those motherfuckers as I can. Drink some water, dog. You know what I mean? But yeah. That's it. I mean, and I think there's probably a lot of people like that.
There probably is, really, to be honest with you.
Now, here's the thing, too, man. And I was thinking, this is sort of a great promotion for homeless people. Do they serve them? Do these people even know? Because it's not like really put out there.
Yeah, I doubt they would know.
It's on the internet and TV. So how would the homeless people?
Yeah, how would they know? Well, okay. You and I live in Southern California, and I used to live very close to Pasadena. I will tell you this. The homeless people around Pasadena all had cell phones because they were over there with their signs and this and that, and they were living on the street. I saw them all the time on the street, but they all had cell phones. I don't know if they were like those burner phones, where the pay-as-you-go type ones, but they all had cell phones, man. And they were smartphones. So maybe some of them are savvy enough to know about that shit.
Right. I mean, hey, I'd at least pick a spot where there's a couple within a close proximity.
Right.
And I'd try to bounce back a couple times.
Yeah.
Change my shirt or something.
Well, let's see if they would serve you too.
Yeah, it depends how you're looking.
Yeah.
Right.
Or how you're smelling.
Yeah, that's another point.
You know what I mean? Because you bother other patrons, so they don't want you in there.
Yeah.
So they're going to shoo you out.
No, that's a good
and I've
point,
seen that too. I was at a Carl's Jr. I saw that happen. But hey, okay, that was kind of serious, but let me talk to you about something else about foodie shit. All right. Have you heard about this pickle sandwich over there in Philadelphia?
What the fuck is that?
Okay, so it's a pickle sandwich, man. Okay, and we're not talking like a sandwich with a bunch of pickles in it or a sandwich with cheese, lettuce, and pickles or anything like that. We're talking like it's an actual sandwich. Like, you and I both like Jimmy John's, right? You go to Jimmy John's and you get it loaded with a bunch of meat and everything. This is a sandwich just like that, but instead of bread, this is a pickle. And the reason why they're doing it is because it's like non-GMO. It's there's no gluten. There's no, you know how like a lot of people have food allergies. That's what spawned this whole thing. So it's a sandwich, but with a pickle, a giant fucking pickle as the bread.
That's fucking nuts, dude.
Dude, it's weird. It is weird, but it's growing in popularity. These people
and it started in Philadelphia.
It's in Philadelphia.
It's
the only
never
place
gonna
right now.
it's never going to take the place of a Philly. Let's be honest, dude.
Well, I don't know, man.
No. I
You don't think so?
No, you've been to Philly.
I've been to Philly. You've been to Philly.
So you go
We
down
both
South
had
Street, dog. There's
cheesesteaks.
fucking 20 cheesesteak places that are so famous.
Yeah.
Those places are never going to die.
Well, no, I doubt it'll take the place, but it's growing in popularity. People fucking love that shit. I don't know if it's because people in Philly are a little bit tweaked, you know?
No, they're all fucked up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hey,
But-
wait, hey.
What?
Don't be picking on our Philly fans over there. You know what I mean?
I fucking hate the Eagles, dog. They beat us last year.
So, but you always talk shit about me with Florida. And
I'm not talking about the city. I'm talking about the fans. The
okay.
Philly fans.
All right.
Yeah, I hate anybody who beats us, dog.
All right.
That's all I'm saying. But I mean, I guess it's sort of like, have you tried that thing at Taco Bell, the naked chicken chalupa?
I did. I did not like it.
I loved it.
I did not
Oh,
like
I think
it.
it was good. That's where the chicken is the bread.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
that fucker
the
was
chicken
decent.
is the taco shell.
Right. The taco shell. Correct.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy it.
I did. I love that thing.
Really?
So, I mean, I think it's probably like a little trend they're going to start throwing out, right?
Probably. You know what the big trend right now is, especially in fast food, is the meatless. You know, everybody's going to all this meatless stuff. Del Taco, I don't know, you know, we're regional here in LA. Del Taco is a big thing, but you know, that's a taco that has no meat in it. It's all, you know, like vegetables and beets and all that type of stuff. And now Carl's Jr. or if Hardee's, wherever you're at, they have a meatless burger, you know, and it's all like that. Everybody, Burger King has their own now. Everybody's going to it.
Well, don't you remember a few years ago, T? I mean, this movement sort of started and they tried it, and I think it sort of crapped out. And then they had like the big thing was, what was the fucking name of that one burger? Garden Burger or something like that? Everyone was
Yeah,
pubbing.
it was the Garden
They
Burger.
were all cooking it.
Yeah.
And it didn't taste bad. I tried it, I think. But man, I mean, if I can get a burger, I'll take a burger. But I think now because of the health consciousness and people are really, I mean, let's be honest, right? I mean, even people that aren't healthy are trying to eat healthy.
Well, they're trying to not eat as bad.
Yeah,
They
man.
still
but-
eat bad, but they try to do it less.
Okay, isn't it like that back in the day where the guy orders I don't even want a double, can I get a 4x4? Can I get some animal style fries at In-N-Out? Oh, and a Diet Coke. I mean, fuck, right? Isn't that the same fucking thing, right?
Yeah, kind of. It is.
You know what I mean?
I'll be honest with you, man. I tried the Carl's Jr. They called it Beyond
Beef?
Beef
Yeah,
or
or
Beyond
Meats,
Famous Star or something like that.
Yeah.
And that thing was pretty damn good.
Well, I think
It was really good.
I think, you know, before me and you, because, you know, you fly like, you change like directions in the wind, and you were doing a little kick for a while, and you'd bring me back some stuff, and I think we went to a chicken restaurant one time,
Yeah.
and you said, hey, dude, you got to try this chicken sandwich. And I was like, fuck, it's a little bougie over here, bro. Oh, but try it, bro, try it. Hey, fuck, it's pretty good, dude. It's a little different. Oh, because it's not chicken, dog. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and you don't realize really how good they're getting at this food.
Right.
You know, and there is good flavor in it.
Tons of good flavor.
And it's I think it's making it more easy to be accepted. What do you think about that?
No, I think you're absolutely right. And especially the younger generation, man, they're a little bit more conscious when it comes to not just this, but just about anything. Let's be honest with you, man, right? I mean, when it comes to social issues, when it comes to anything, and the younger generation, this is kind of the stuff that they want more and more of. You know, so these big chains are starting to shift because they know the dynamic is shifting of who their customers are.
You know, and I know they took a shit, T, but I really think Chipotle is sort of healthy. Ugh. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, I know you don't like it, but look at the ingredients they use. And a lot of places don't do that.
And you get free E. coli with that too.
Nah, come on, man. The problem that they have, and you know me, I'm a food scientist. So the issue is they're cooking by temperature.
Yeah.
So they're checking 1 point or a couple points of temperature, and if it dings that bell at that internal temperature, they think it's good.
Yeah, and that's not doing it.
It's not doing it. You got to fucking char that shit a little bit more.
You do.
You know what I mean?
You got to
And
cook
just to
that
be
thing all the
safe.
way through.
You got to be
make sure.
safe.
Well, you know, I'm
what
a
I mean?
big barbecue guy, man. So that's and I don't barbecue a lot of beef. I mainly do pork. So you know how that is. Pork is very sensitive when you don't have the right temperature, and that thing can fuck you up.
Yes and no. Here's the thing, man. You can eat pork medium rare. You know that, right?
No.
Yeah, you can.
I was always told that pork was one of those things that you couldn't.
No, it's a myth. Because it's a muscle. So if you get okay, understand this, right? So if you cut a steak, it's a muscle. It means that there's really not going to penetrate the bacteria on either side. It's not going to go through.
Right.
You can sear it on one side and kill it, because even if you cook it for 5 minutes or 2 minutes, it's going to hit 160 degrees at some point on the outside surface.
On the outside surface.
So you're going to kill all that stuff. The muscle won't allow it to penetrate. It's sort of the same with like a pork loin. But once you use it and grind it, and there's little small pieces, it's on now. Now you got to cook it. Because you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because now you've introduced oxygen to it, which allows these microorganisms to grow.
Oh, okay.
So at that point, now you got to cook the shit out of it, like ground chicken or diced chicken.
Yeah, shredded, whatever.
Chicken is chicken. You got to get that fucking temperature up. You cannot cook medium well chicken, but pork you can. And if you even really like go to our high-end steakhouse, you can ask for your pork chops medium or medium well, and they're going to bring them to you a little pink.
Really?
Yeah.
Never had that.
But because society's always told everyone, dude, you got to be careful with the pork.
Fuck, dude, I've been cooking barbecue for years, man, and I've always thought I had to make sure. But it doesn't matter with the kind of barbecue I do. I do actual barbecue. I mean,
I know what you do. Yeah,
So
it's the butts. You know what I mean? But you're shredding it.
Right, but
it's not like a steak or a chop.
It's not a loin.
Right.
Exactly.
And that's the difference, is you're going to shred it at some point, not to fall apart, but cook internally. Because when you shred it, now you're giving pieces out.
Yeah.
So if you give a whole bunch of pieces that aren't cooked and they weren't stored right, it's trouble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you have to cook something like that through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like we said, a chop or something like that, that's going straight from either the grill or the hot plate to a plate to eat, you're good, man. Medium well.
Damn, I didn't know that shit.
Yeah, dude. But chicken's just chicken.
Well, chicken, yeah, that's kind of crazy stuff.
What about lamb, dude? Do you ever barbecue any lamb?
Fuck, I love lamb, man.
Yeah, I used to work for the lamb company, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So people don't get it, T. The way that they, lamb's introduced, they just don't want to even eat that shit.
A lot of people are not, well, here in the States, really, because when I was, in Europe, lamb was everywhere.
It's huge over there.
Lamb was huge over there.
That's all it is over there. Yeah.
So when I was in Europe, lamb was big, but here in the States, you're right, man. It's kind of a bastard child. Nobody wants it. Nobody understands it. The few that do really love it.
Yeah. And I think that even some of the restaurants that have it only do it for the folks that are coming from the European countries.
Probably.
Because I don't think they're selling much to the Americans.
They probably don't.
Yeah, Americans don't eat lamb, but it's a great grilling meat, man.
Oh, it is. It's great.
You can grill a leg, season a leg, get some garlic, some
good
rosemary.
Chops, man. You give me some good lamb chops.
Oh, no, I'm going to get you a good rack of lamb, dog.
Ooh.
You cook that fucker for about 5 minutes each side, then you split those little lollipops and give it a little bit of a last cook.
Yep.
Oh, dude, they're falling apart.
Yeah.
People don't get how good this is. They won't even give it a try.
No, they're delicious, man. I remember I tried some ground lamb, like a lamb burger. Dude, that thing is, that's the thing with that. You got to make sure you cook it right because it's lean. So because lamb's a lot leaner, you don't have that fat. And so you can dry it out real easily if you don't know what you're doing.
It's not just that, but remember now you're not, okay, so you hit the nail on the head, right? In America, we look at fat in these products to mean our quality. So when they look at a steak, a marbled steak, the more marbling there is in it, the higher the grade is.
Right.
We want fat. Because that's the flavor, right?
Yeah.
In the lamb chops, in Australian beef, in New Zealand lamb, New Zealand beef, there's no fat. They eat grass.
Right.
We feed our cattle grain over here that makes them fat.
Yeah, they're huge. The domestic lambs are huge.
Yeah, exactly. But not even the lamb, talking about just the beef stuff. But yeah, you're right. When you grind that lamb up, it gives it a whole different flavor.
It does.
And if you're not ready for that, you're not going to like it.
Oh, that thing was great, though.
No, yeah, exactly, because you like lamb.
Yeah.
But it's very gamey.
It is.
And especially if you grind it, you're going to taste it 100 times more. And it's going to have an aftertaste in your mouth.
It does.
And if people aren't used to it, that's what sort of turns them off.
True.
Because, they're probably thinking, oh, it's just a burger. Let me try the lamb burger. And they get it, and that's the bad experience.
Yeah.
And now they're completely turned off.
Yeah. They're like, oh, no, never again. Mm-mm.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Then they're going to have to use their cell phone and call Uber Eats, bro.
Because they've never cooked it properly.
Yeah, unless it's an iPhone, then it'll get recalled.
Why you got to go there, man?
Dude, hey, let's talk about some iPhones, dude.
Oh, do you really want to wake this giant?
Dude, whatever, man. Just talk about it. I mean, whatever it is, I know you don't like them, you don't use them, but there's millions and millions of people who do. You know, it doesn't even matter, right, that they have these recalls, they have these issues.
Don't get me angry.
People keep buying this shit.
You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. I'm just saying, man. You're right. They have all these. Okay, so right now, iPhone has a bad. Well, not just Apple. Let's just say Apple in general has had a bad couple weeks because right now they have a recall, which they should have had a real long time ago on their phones because the iPhone 5 and 6 and 7 have already been known to have problems with their audio. Okay, so their audio connections, the board is going out on the audio. All right, and so this is one of the reasons why I hate Apple so much. And this is what pisses me off and infuriates me because they know it's a defect while they're doing the development and the testing. And yet they roll it out there anyway. And then they make the consumer feel like they're the ones that fucked it up and they did something wrong. And then the consumer has to pay to get it fixed, even though Apple put out a defective product in the first place. So that's kind of what's going on. There's a recall with that. And then...
but stopping you right there, but people keep buying their shit.
They do because it's a cult. It's a cult.
I agree.
It's a fucking cult.
Dude,
they even have a website called the Cult of Mac. It's a fucking cult.
Dude, you go by the mall in the Apple store. That fucking place is slammed every time.
It is.
I mean, dude, right, no matter what they're putting out though, it's like fucking they're touching gold.
It's crapple though, dude.
You're right.
Inferior fucking products.
But again, look at what's happening. It's not affecting them.
So, okay, you used to be an Apple guy. I at one point was an Apple guy,
well,
right?
Let's clarify this, dude. I'm not a nothing guy. I don't give a shit about my phones, but I had an iPhone.
But you had an iPhone.
Yeah, but I wasn't an Apple guy.
No. But
it was just a phone I got with my package.
Right.
Yeah, my upgrade.
Right, exactly. And I actually purposely went out. Back in the day when the iPhone was coming out, I had a BlackBerry, right? And everybody started switching to iPhones, and I kept seeing all the cool things you could do with it. So I said, yeah, fuck, I'm going to do it. So I did it, and I loved it. But then Android came out, and I saw Android, and I was like, still kind of a crappy operating system. But then all of a sudden, at a blink of an eye, Android caught up. And then next thing you know, Android started surpassing Apple as far as like, not just specs, I don't want to get into the boring details about that crap, but they started surpassing them with just the things that you can do. Like the cool things the operating system can do, the lag time improved, all these things started improving. Yeah,
and those are the things that like I really don't pay attention to. And I know like when I have issues with my phone, I call you because you know about all those things, dude. But how many normal people think about that when they're making the purchase?
So they don't. What they're looking for is cool factor.
Right.
They're looking for name so everybody knows iPhone.
Right.
And there's snobs out there that are iPhone people that, the iMessenger.
What is that? Is that their message system?
So it's a text and it's a messenger when you had it, you had some that if you were to text somebody with another iPhone, it was like a certain colored bubble, like a blue bubble. And then if you text somebody and they didn't have an iPhone, it changed to a green bubble. Did you ever notice that?
I don't remember that.
Okay. So there's people that literally, if they meet a girl or if a girl meets a guy, right, and they start texting each other, and it's the wrong colored bubble, they're out.
The fuck out of here.
This is how fucking stupid this is.
I believe you. I'm just saying that's fucking stupid.
It is fucking stupid.
You know what I mean? I'm not, because like we said, it's like you said, it's almost a cult. These people are at all points. You see the lines in the Apple store, G?
Yeah.
And people are just keep going in to get the fucking shit in the line. They got to go.
So I switched to Android years ago, and my biggest inspiration for switching was the fact that, Apple used to say that they were the ones that were innovating all the time, right? Innovation. And that was true. But as soon as Jobs died, man, there was no more innovation. They don't innovate anymore. They've fallen so far behind everything else. And so I switched to Android, and I never looked back, man. It's the Android manufacturers that are pushing the boundaries of what cell phones can and will be doing, not just now, but in the future. you know? And one of the things that pisses me off is when Apple has a conference and they finally do something and integrate a technology in their phone that's been around for 2 or 3 years on the Android side. These guys claim like it's the latest and greatest for iPhone and that it's the best thing because they just finally did it. They almost take credit for it.
No, yeah.
And they're so pompous.
No, you're right. But I mean, don't they have the right to be? They're fucking making money more than anybody, right?
But they don't have that right because they're no longer innovating. It's not their shit anymore.
Yeah, but I mean, it's, well, yeah, you're right. I agree with that. But fuck, like we said, nobody even knows that. They don't care. They're just listening to them, yabba, 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 go buy a phone.
Yeah.
Yabba, 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 go buy a tablet.
You know, I was...
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's really it, right?
I actually was in a cell phone store one day because I had to talk, you know, it was AT&T. No shout out to AT&T because I can't stand them. But I was in their store one day because I had to deal with my account. And I overheard a sales guy talking to a lady and... You know, she's like, well, which one should I get? This new Samsung or the new iPhone? And the guy's trying to lean her towards the iPhone. But what he's telling her wasn't actually based in facts and reality. And I actually asked the guy afterwards, I go, hey man, do you get a commission for, you know, making people go towards Apple? And he goes, no, why? I go, well, why would you tell her that? You know that's an inferior phone. I go, why would you lead her to something that's inferior? And he goes, well, you know, I just thought that she would like, I go, yeah, but it's also a lot more money too.
You probably caught him, G, because he probably didn't know it was an inferior product.
Maybe.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe.
Some of those guys are young in those stores, right?
Yeah,
A little bit, you know, first job. Like they're just learning the specs of it. They don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, and probably thinking, oh, fuck, this is the most popular one.
Maybe. Yeah, and just because you're the most popular doesn't mean you're that good.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
But these guys continue to be popular and they're not good.
Well, and they keep going down. But, you know, and it's not just them, but cell phone sales in general are slumping. You know, we're seeing it with all the major manufacturers. So Samsung is having an issue. You know, they're slumping. Everybody, the whole cell phone market as a whole, because more and more phones, as you know, as they get better and better in quality, people are holding on to them longer.
Well, fuck, dude, we talked about that the other day. You know what I mean?
Hold on for yours for a decade before you fix yours
fuck
or
yeah,
replace
dude, there's nothing wrong with it.
See?
You know what I mean? Yeah, and you're one of the guys who gets one every time a new one comes out, right?
Yeah.
So talk about the advantage of that as to oppose to somebody like me holding on to it and just saying, fuck, I don't really use my phone for all the I guess things it can do. You know what I mean?
So you're not into that stuff. Right. You know what I mean? You can kind of care less, and I'm over there trying to, you know, tell you about the latest and greatest and the cool things that it can do, and you're just like, yeah, I don't need that.
Yeah, as long as I can watch porn, play some poker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good, man.
Yeah, for what your purposes are, for what you use it for is great. But think about your phone right now. How better would it be for you to watch the porn on a high def resolution screen? You know?
Yeah, but I mean,
on like an OLED screen that's fucking beautiful.
No, I know,
colors, vibrant. You really capture.
You know, I got friends with new phones.
Yeah,
right. So they show me their stuff and it looks good, but my eyesight's bad, dude. I don't want to wear any glasses. So especially if I'm gonna be slapping my monkey, I wear no glasses to slap my monkey, so it doesn't matter either way.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But,
okay.
But no, I hear you, man. Because I mean, yeah, I look at the stuff, and then even just the ease of how the operating system is. It's just they're doing things, and just like they're showing me their shit.
Yeah.
It's like fuck, guys, you know. And dude, get a new phone.
Well, okay.
And I'm like, why?
Here's something that I haven't talked to you about, man. So, you know, you were telling me a couple weeks ago that somebody had offered a really good deal to get a new iMac Pro laptop, right?
Yeah.
Okay. They just did a recall on them.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know why?
Why?
Because it's doing a Samsung Note 7.
Oh, the battery's
blowing up. They're catching fire.
Okay, cool.
But you're not going to hear about that as much as you would the Samsung. Why? Because it's Apple.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
It's because we covet. You know what? And the big difference is like it's an American brand.
Yeah, no, you're right. And not just that, T, but don't you just think, I mean, every time something comes out with Apple, there's a problem.
There is.
That's all I ever hear.
Yeah.
I never hear of, it launches, thing's awesome. Every time you see it launch, 2 days later, here's the problems.
Right.
They're sending out an update to fix these fucking problems.
Right.
You know, that's all you ever hear.
Yeah.
And these sales keep fucking happening.
Yeah.
So now you touched on it a little bit, man. I want you to expand a little bit. What do you think the reason is? And you said about older phones, but I'm thinking opposite, dude. I'm thinking no matter what, it all points at this time of our society, phone sales should be increasing because now you got fucking elementary school kids carrying phones.
No, you do, but
you know what I mean? It's gotta be.
But they're getting their parents' hand-me-downs. They're not getting the brand news.
Sometimes.
I guess, well, it depends on the demographic on where you live too.
Right. Oh, yeah,
you know what I mean? Listen, I mean, how many parents?
But fuck, I was telling you, like a friend of mine, shout out Jose, but this guy's like collecting phones right now. He's a good friend of mine. And he was telling me, hey man, when you get these phones or you go to these new, like a carrier or something like that, you can get like a 4 or 5 line setup. And if you don't have phones, your credit's good, they're going to basically give you phones.
Yeah.
And he said, fuck, he was at T-Mobile. He decided to go to another carrier. He went there and got a 4-line family package. They gave him all brand new phones.
Yeah.
He had brand new phones already.
Yeah.
So he's like, fuck it, I'll put it in my back pocket. And he got I guess like a line for one of his relatives, his sister, something like that.
Yeah.
She got a new phone. And then they called him up a couple days later and told him, look, man, you got a 4-pack. To get 5 lines, it's only going to be like $12 more a month. He's like, well, I don't need another line. Well, you don't need it now, but to grandfather it in, you just keep it, and you can plug in another line anytime, and we'll send you another new phone. So we got another S10 Plus.
That's
you know what I mean? So it's crazy how they're just throwing these things out.
Yeah, they're just throwing it out there, man.
You know what I mean? It's so easy to get these things now. You know what I mean?
It is, but they become expensive in the long run because those free phones aren't free, and I know that too.
In what aspect, though? I mean, because like you get the free phone with your package, but you got to pay the tax.
Right.
But the tax on it's $300 or $400.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, but then they're also trying to get you on the service. Okay, they want you to have that service.
Oh, yeah, because they know that extra $12 a month for 2 or 3 years is going to pay for that phone and some.
And then some.
And the extra usage of whatever you do on the system, all those things. If there's any add-ons
you figure like
right?
the S10 Plus, right? Mm-hmm. It's $1,000 phone.
Right.
Okay. Taxes, all that on there. Let's say their cost, right? The carrier's cost on that phone, probably $700.
Right.
Okay, they're going to make that money back up pretty damn quick.
Right, exactly.
They're going to make and then some.
And then
it's worth it to them.
Yeah, exactly. They want to give it out, and you might be a customer for life.
Right.
So we're going to make that money back on either way.
Yeah.
You know what
tenfold,
I mean? Well,
eventually.
For the majority of
yes.
it. So it's worth it. You know what I mean? Lost leaders kind of things, right? So
exactly.
I mean, but yeah, it's so easy to get these phones and things, and I'm still walking around with 4-generation old phone.
I think it's 5 now.
Well, there's no S11, dog. This is a 6. I'm proud of my 6, dog.
Yeah?
Yeah, they're at 10 plus.
Well.
So 10, even if regular 10 and a 10 plus is still the 10 generation, dog. Don't push me. Come on, dude. Why are you giving me the look, bro?
Dude, I'm just saying, look, man.
Look, dude, you give me the
at some point, at some point you got to upgrade.
Why? Well, remember when it almost crashed?
Yes, that's why. That's exactly why, dude. You hand it over to me and it's fucking flaming, burning because it's so hot and everything. I'm like, dude. And it's crashing, and I'm like,
not just that.
Your memory's full because you have an older phone that doesn't have like it's a standard phone, right? When you got it, that was the standard memory size.
Yeah, but that's pretty good for whatever 10 years or 8 years, and I've never really deleted nothing or put nothing in the cloud, dude.
But see, that's my point, though. Like, there's people that like you, and then there's people like me that want to.
What the fuck does that mean?
That are better than you. But there's people that are like early adopters, right? That they love tech, and so they adopt early, right? And so they always get the latest and greatest. I'm waiting for a phone that's going to be able to like wipe my arse too. You know what I mean? I mean, that's just where we're going with everything. So I don't know. Here's the one thing, man. Samsung, they're not infallible too, right? We know that. The Note 7 blew up, right? They just canceled or delayed the launch of their foldable phone, right? Did you see that one?
Yeah, I did. I saw that.
Yeah. Okay. So they had
Samsung was
that was Samsung with the foldable phone.
Yeah.
So you had to delay that. They haven't canceled it yet, completely, but they delayed it. So there's that too. Okay. But at least they're being proactive about it, because the foldable phone got delayed. It never made it to market, right? Because they learned from what happened to the Note 7. But Apple, dude, they just don't give a rat's ass. They just keep doing it. They came out with the MacBook Pro with a new keyboard style, and now it's like 3 gens in. That keyboard, that original keyboard, still had a problem with it. And it still has that problem because they haven't done anything to address that problem, because people will still buy it and the keyboards are fucked up.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to them.
And here's the new thing, right? Check this out, King. Apple came out with their last conference and they toted this credit card. They were big on this big fucking credit card, right? The most secured credit card ever in the history of ever, right? Everything's got to be that way with them. And that's one thing that just pisses me off, because it's got to be the best, right? This credit card, I don't know if you've seen it, but it's made out of metal and there's no numbers on it. It just has the person's name on the front and it has a little Apple symbol, and then there's no numbers on the back. So there's no CVV number. There's no numbers at all on this damn thing. All right. It hasn't launched yet. It's in beta testing with employees, and it was with a select number of employees. Then they opened it up to more employees. First, it was corporate employees. Now they've opened it up to employees at the store too that can apply for it. And guess what?
It got hacked. Fuck, as you know it. You set it up, dog.
Already? It's only in beta, dude.
That's Apple, though, right?
Yeah, but here's...
Fuck, they say, it's like you said, they say their shit's the top notch and it just sucks.
Yeah.
And people, I gotta get it.
Yeah, people fucking jerk off all over it, and they believe that shit. Look, if you're an Apple person and you're listening to this, it's nothing, I'm not taking it personal against you guys, but I just want you guys to know this, that wake up a little bit, guys. There's other, and I'm not saying to go to Samsung, but there's other ones out there that are really damn good. Huawei, they actually make a pretty damn good phone, but they can't be, they're not anymore.
Who?
Huawei, they got bad.
What is that?
Huawei's a Chinese manufacturer, and they're really fucking good. They're kind of good. They're actually make some pretty damn decent phones, but then they got fucked. They got fucked by the government over politics. Trump went after them. And then they
got hit with the tariff and shit?
No, man. No. He was saying that the Chinese government was using Huawei software to spy on American citizens.
Oh.
So then Google yanked Android away from them. And then Huawei's like, well, that's okay. We've been developing our own operating system. Yeah, no, it doesn't matter.
Well, yeah, they can't catch up that fast. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
And then Qualcomm, who makes the chips, fucking Qualcomm says, we're not selling to you anymore. So these guys are in limbo, and they got taken away from national federations for Wi-Fi and Bluetooth federations. Now they've since been able to get back onto those federations, but Google and Qualcomm and a lot of these big companies aren't doing business with them. So they're still kind of in limbo. They're still fucked, So
let me ask a question to you, too. Maybe you know.
Yeah.
And I guess we talked about Samsung. We talked now Huawei. We talked about Apple. Who's the biggest selling brand?
Biggest selling brand?
Yeah, overall. I mean, obviously, we're just talking about all the multimedia type of things. Phones, tablets, computers. They all do them all, right? Samsung does a tablet. They do a computer.
So there's only two in this world that can go head-to-head with each other, too.
Samsung and Apple?
No.
Who?
Google. Google and Apple.
Okay, so do you see all the new Google products coming out, the Google phones and things like that are really low priced?
So
what's the deal with that?
So they're not really low priced.
Well, I saw
there's a couple models are.
Yeah, I saw like for 400 and some bucks.
Yeah.
When you're looking at all these phones that are $1,000 or more, T.
Well, okay,
you know what I mean?
But
unless you buy older phones.
Correct, but see, Google's trying to tackle a market, and they kind of started a trend. And Samsung just released with their S10. They have an S10e, which is a more affordable phone. I think it's like $600-700. And then Apple also came out with like an Apple version of the iPhone that is like a budget version, which was $700.
Right, because they want to target somebody. So all they really do, what, is restrict memory?
No, what they're doing is
just make it less memory.
Well, like in Apple's case,
yeah.
Apple's case, they didn't have a high quality screen on there. It was an LCD, still damn good screen, but it's not an OLED.
Oh, gotcha. So they save the cost on that.
Yes.
They did certain things to cut the
corners.
cost.
So it's not now the Samsung version. The Samsung version is almost right up there with the more expensive ones. The only thing missing is like the better cameras. It has a damn good camera on it, but it doesn't have the great cameras that the new ones have. So it still has OLED because Samsung is the one that is the king of the OLEDs. They're the ones that developed it. They are the OLED market. So they still have a great damn screen. They're not going to do away with that. They'll never cheap on the screen because that's kind of Samsung's thing. You know what I mean? So, but when it comes to the market, as far as, who goes up head to head for selling, it's Google and Apple. There's nobody else that can touch those two. That's just how it is. But Google just canceled because they came out, or they tried to come out with a tablet, and it was a fucking mess, dude. This tablet was a disaster. They just canceled it. They just actually said no more tablets, period. We're getting out of the tablet.
Well, that little
market.
computer they make is almost like a fucking little tablet, ain't it? That little Google book, or
yeah. So they're going to continue to make those.
They're pretty cheap too.
Yeah. So those are really good though. Those are damn good. The only thing is, if you're used to, let's say,
a bigger keyboard or something.
No, a Windows operating system. If you want to do certain Windows things, Google has their own version of it, and for the most part, it's almost the same. But there are slight differences, and it doesn't quite operate the same exact way for obvious reasons. So, it's Google's version of it, but they're still really damn good.
So, which one of these makes you grow horns out of your skull?
Jeez.
Did you hear about that, dude?
Oh my God, man.
Dude,
I'm glad you said that, because I actually forgot about that. I was going to talk about that.
This is getting so hot right now. It's just not a big thing on NBC News.
Yeah.
But now they're coming out saying that it's all bullshit.
Okay.
So, I mean, would you know about this thing? Why don't you talk about it a little bit?
I heard about it, man. So apparently cell phones are causing horns to grow at the base of kids' skulls. Okay. And of course, like sound phone manufacturers and everything, they're all claiming, that's bullshit, like you said. But, I don't know if you saw the picture, but there was an X-ray of somebody's head, but it wasn't like horns like out of the top of their skull. It was in the back.
Yeah, that's what's sort of weird. And it looks almost like it didn't look like horns, dude. It almost looked like a little.
It's like a little extra growth.
Yeah. Well, okay. So, T, back in the day when I was going to school, I wanted to be a doctor.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a physical therapist. So I learned but it looked like a condyle, which is like, where your bones come together, elbows, knees, your joints.
Oh, yeah.
You pull them apart and there's sort of bumps on there.
Yeah.
That's a condyle. That's what it looked like to me.
It kind of did.
You know what I mean? It didn't really look like a fucking horn, but that's what they're fucking going at now, dude.
Yeah. And so, okay, you say it all the time, media, right? So I think that's a little bit of it playing into it is the media.
But again, the thing that I heard too is they're saying it's only affecting the younger generation.
It is.
Why is that? Because their skull isn't completely formed yet?
It's still developing. And what they're saying is from looking down at their phone, having their heads down all the time.
See, that makes more sense than actually listening to phones, right?
Well, but so
it's not saying that it's because of the phone itself.
Yeah, it's not radiation. It's nothing of that. But
I think that's a good point, T, because I noticed that, and I'm just gonna make a comment. A couple of days ago, I was driving to work or something, or driving away from work, and I saw a couple of people in the street. I noticed one guy waiting for the crosswalk, just staring down at his phone with his head like really hunched.
Yeah.
Another guy at the bus stop, a couple blocks away, same shit. And my thought was, fuck, we just are so dependent on our cell phone.
Completely.
But you're right, dude. The way people's posture are to look at their phones, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, you're almost like the way you're bending your head down isn't normal.
It's not.
And it could affect you. It could affect you physiologically.
Right. And so, a lot of people, when we start getting into like biology, not just of the human body, but when we get into, whether you believe in evolution or not, if you're an evolutionist or anything, but how the body evolves and how different things evolve. This could be one of those instances of the body evolving to adapt to the way that it is now. Like you said, the posture, the physiology of the posture.
Absolutely. And the body's always meant to protect itself. It's a wonderful machine. It does at all points. Its thought is self-preservation.
Exactly.
And like you said, when you're putting yourself in a prone position or a position that is not normal, your body's going to try to protect itself.
Right.
And adjusting it and doing things are really part of that.
Right. So this may be just a form of evolution of the human body.
I never really thought of it that way, man.
But I want to know, and that's what one thing I haven't...
but wait a minute, T. When you read this thing and you first read it, didn't you think like, fuck, where the phone is coming out of horn? You know what I mean?
That's why
I was thinking this dude's looking like the fucking devil.
It was clickbaitish. It was kind of clickbaitish, you know what I mean? Because I saw it and I'm like, fuck, I want to see that, right? Horns.
Right, yeah.
But then when I started reading it and then I see the scan, they did a CT scan.
Yeah.
I was like, get the fuck out of here. That's not a horn, guys.
Right. It's like a bump. It's like a callus.
Yeah.
It's something, dude.
But
it
here's
looks
the
funny.
thing.
It's not.
I want to see it in more. I mean, is this one-off? Like nobody's really said in depth. Like I want to see. You know me. I'm one of those guys that I need to see the proof and I need to see all the background of everything before I make an informed decision.
Well, I think this came from a study that was done in some Australian research center. Or
Right,
something.
but a lot of these studies, they're not that big sometimes.
Well, they can only do them for so long because of funding.
True, but I want to see, are we talking one person? Are we talking 10 people? How many people did you study? What is the representative sample of the population? That's kind of what's got me curious.
No, and I think that's a good point. You know what I mean? And it's sort of what we talked about sometimes, like the media does. They get one story, one person, one single situation, and they make it seem like everyone's affected by this. And it's going to affect everybody. And now here goes the common scare.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It's the oh, fuck, the sky is falling, man.
Right, exactly.
Fuck, what am I going to do? Man, my cell phone's going to make me grow a horn.
Okay, how many times have you been watching?
I don't want a horn, dog. I don't want a horn.
So how many times have you been watching TV or the news specifically? And what happens? All of a sudden you see they're saying, oh, a new research says that drinking coffee is great for you, or drinking, one glass of beer before you go to bed is actually healthy for you. Right? How many times have you heard that?
No, yeah, a lot of different stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wine, beer, coffee.
Yeah, chocolate,
right,
whatever. Right?
Changes your mood.
Okay, did you know that they don't actually read the studies when they're talking about that, when they report on it? Not just the reporter, but there's people that set up these stories for them, right?
Right.
So
the writers. It's all teleprompted.
Right. Yeah. They do all the background, right? They don't really do that because I've read where these scientists that did the study said that had nothing to do with my study. That's not what my study said. Okay, you just did it's not clickbait because it's on the news, but it's clickbait-ish. They're not actually reading. They're kind of skimming through like if it's Cliff Notes and trying to pull out something that they could do for the news.
And it makes sense, and I do that for a lot of research I do at work and things like that. You try to catch the big points, and hopefully you get enough of it to make sense of it.
Yeah, but they're twisting the fuck out of it.
Of course, but they want it to be entertaining too, right?
Right. And they're looking for headlines, man.
And that's what it is.
And that's what's fucked up, though. That's what kind of drives me nuts sometimes.
But isn't that what we talked about even in the first stories with the cops? They want headlines at no matter what cost, right?
Yeah.
And that sucks. That really fucking sucks.
Well, what is that old saying? If it bleeds, it leads?
Yeah, exactly.
You know
what I mean?
How many times do they open up the news on a feel-good story?
They don't anymore.
Right.
They barely even talk about that. We've mentioned that on the show.
Yeah.
That they don't even fucking talk about feel-good stories anymore. There's no such thing.
It doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, man, but hey, it is what it is. I want to grow a horn, dog.
Dude.
I do. I want one. Hey, do you think because my phone's older, I got a better chance?
I think so.
Or no, it'd have to be a newer one, probably higher powered, more.
No, it has nothing
more
to do
gamma
with that,
rays, dude. More gamma rays.
Get the fuck out of here. How do you even say that you're a scientist in any fucking shape?
I'm a food scientist.
It doesn't
gamma
matter.
Rays.
But
How
you gonna bring that weak shit in here, dude?
Come on, man.
Come on.
Why are you fucking with my gamma ray, dog?
Don't even get me started on that.
Hey, have you heard anything of the new Godzilla?
No, I saw one commercial.
Out, right? It came out.
Fuck if I know, man. I saw one commercial and that was it.
Well, they pubbed it on the NBA playoffs, dude, and the guy who was the creator of the movie.
Yeah.
He came out and did like a little bit, like a 1-minute bit. He just introduced the movie and he said, "Look, I've been watching all these remakes my whole life. I grew up watching Godzilla, Monster Zero, all these guys, Mothra,
yeah,
and nobody did him justice." And then he looks right in the camera. He says, "Godzilla, I did you justice." And then they start the trailer.
We'll see. No,
it actually looks good.
Okay, but
but the creature looks more like Godzilla,
more like real Godzilla, not like this crazy shit,
like a crocodile and shit they had one time. Get the fuck out of
No,
here.
the one that I saw during the NBA playoffs where they were, pubbing the shit out of MIB, the new one.
Oh, that's another one too. Yeah,
because they had AD as an alien. Did you see that?
Well, they did one with AD, did one with Russell Westbrook.
It was Westbrook, AD, and somebody else. Like they were three of them. Was it AD part of that one too?
No, the ones I saw, they were all separate.
Oh, no, I saw one where they had all three of them together.
No, I saw them all separate. And they were talking to him or whatever else, like AD swatted one of his arms stretched. And
yeah, because he's I'm not an alien.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, I'm an alien.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, fuck yeah, you are.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. It's I that's all I saw. I didn't see the Godzilla. It's kind of died out.
I don't even, and I haven't even heard does it come out or anything. Fuck, we got to figure that out. Hey, Dr. X, man, do some fucking work, dog. Get it?
Hey, wait, hold on. He has been doing a little bit of work.
What?
Okay.
What's he doing?
I had him start trying to throw it out there to get us some interviews and to get us, some guests on the show. And he's actually started to reach out to some people.
Yeah, I saw that email the other day, man.
Yeah.
But has the guy replied to you yet, Dr. X?
That's a big negatory. He's getting the Heisman. We're getting the Heisman.
So, just a little bit of help for you, Dr. X. Don't go to the main guy. Maybe go to the media control area.
Yeah, there you go.
Know what I mean? Or something like that. You might get a response. So just helping you out, brother.
It might get buried or go straight to spam or something. Who knows?
Right, exactly, man. So,
but yeah, I never heard much about it after watching, that trailer. So, but hey, there's something I'm really interested in, and we kind of pumped it, man. So I got to get into it a little bit.
I'm gonna talk to me, T.
All right, I want to know you used company dime.
Oh fuck!
To go on a fucking trip. Wait. You sold me on the idea of, hey, dog, I gotta go do this research. It's for the show. We're gonna write it off. It's on the company dime. So I want to know what my money was spent on.
All right, dog. So I flew to Dallas. I had a couple friends out there. I went to school out there. I had a little get together, and somebody I listened to, an artist that I really, really like. He was playing out there, and he's really starting to blow up.
Yeah.
And I've been listening to the guy for about 4 or 5 years, and he just was about singles and everything else. And who I'm talking about is Dennis Lloyd.
Yeah, you turned me on to him just recently, though, man. What the fuck?
Because his album just dropped. It was always just about singles and things like that. So it really wasn't, hey, man, I think even one time I was playing a song in the car and you asked me, what was it? And I had mentioned it and we sort of blew it off.
Yeah, it just never hit my radar.
Yeah, exactly. But now he got an album that came out and it's sort of getting a lot of traction. He also got a fucking big deal off of Spotify.
Really?
This guy dropped this song that he has, Nevermind. Actually, here's the story of this song. First thing I'm going to talk about this guy a little bit, T, and that's what I went there for.
Yeah.
This guy is the man's fucking singer. He talks about all the shit bitches do. He puts it out there straight. He's
the double I of singing. He's a double I show of fucking music.
Dude. Absolutely. So I saw him at a place called the Dog Club, which is in Austin.
Okay. I love Austin.
And it's basically 2,000 people capacity. And this thing was just a great fucking show. Okay, this guy's background is an Israeli guy. He's 25 years old. He's a young cat.
Yeah.
He is a prodigy when he was 8 or 9 years old, trumpet player. He's an instrumentalist. He can play every instrument.
Fuck.
He records, when he records his stuff, he plays every instrument on there. And this guy, actually, when he turned 17, he graduated from the music school that he went to from when he was 8.
Wow.
And he said, you know what, I got to concentrate on my music. And he took off and he moved to Thailand by himself to concentrate on his music. And
that's an interesting place to go, though.
Well, he went there
I guess because it was cheaper to live?
And the beach.
Okay.
He felt seclusion in the beach and solitude, and he thought he would be able to really focus on what was going on.
Yeah.
The fucking guy wrote 30 songs in a year.
Wow.
So he was busy, dog. Yeah. You know what I mean? And his songs are no bullshit. He's got some good music.
No, he does. When you turned me on to him and told me about him, man, I was, from the minute I started listening to him, I was like, holy crap, this guy's awesome.
So we're going to play a couple bites from you during this, but one of the things I'm going to say too is this guy, funny thing about his name, and I'm just going to give everybody a background. His name is Nir Tibor. He's Israeli, but he knew that name wouldn't get him far. He said it's always going to have a stereotype to it. Americanized people aren't going to listen to it.
Right.
So he fucking Googled for 4 or 5 days to try to figure out what was the most commonly used and searched names. And he came up with Dennis Lloyd.
Really?
That's his stage name.
That's fucking awesome.
So.
That's smart, though.
No, absolutely, man. And so, this show was awesome, T. The thing, too, I didn't get, man. For me, I thought it was going to be a sausage fest, bro.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because, fuck, dude.
Well, because...
we're going to play some of the music, and you'll hear what I say. You know what I mean? What he says, and you're thinking, fuck, how chick's going to like this guy?
Okay, well, how did you sell him on me when you first told me about it?
Well, I told you he was like the male version of Adele.
Yes.
Adele talks shit about all her exes or her ex or whatever it was.
Right.
This guy does this in his songs, dude.
Yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and play a little bit of a song for you right now, and it's called Playa. This song was one of the first songs I heard from him, T. He was probably 21 or 22 when he put this song out, and it really didn't even get any traction.
No, it's a great song, too.
And it's a fucking kick-ass fucking song. So we're going to go and play a little bit of it now for our audience, and you guys can hear it. We're only going to play about 20, 30 seconds. We're going to come back and talk about it a little bit, but take a listen, guys.
You fucking say to me, you push me, then pull me. What you saying, bitch? How could you fucking say that I'm wrong? How could you say that? How could you fucking say that I'm wrong? How could you say that? How could you fucking say that? Baby, calm down, calm the fuck down. Baby, let me breathe, cause I'm about to fucking drown. Baby, let me go, baby, let go. When you're sleeping all around and fucking thinking I don't know, cause you call me.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's like I say to you, these fucking songs are awesome.
They're great, man.
I mean,
I
you
fucking
know,
love it.
You know, I mean, this guy's just all over it. You know, the other one I want to play for you, man, and this was actually, this tour name is GFY. Is Go Fuck Yourself.
Fuck, go fuck yourself.
You know what I mean?
Such a great song.
You know, so, I mean, it's the same thing, man. This guy's just, music is good, everything else. I mean, it's just, I love this guy, man. I wanted to see him in a small gig before he blows up so that I could say, you know what, man, I fucking saw this dude.
And you got to see him in kind of a more intimate setting.
Oh, absolutely did, and that's what I wanted. I didn't want to wait till I saw him at the Staples Center or somewhere else where I was fucking, you know, so far away from him.
Yeah.
And this guy just played his ass off. He played the trumpet all night. He played guitar. He was singing. He's just a fucking, he's an awesome entertainer.
No, I kind of wish I was there with you.
No, it was a great show, man.
Yeah, no, I was a little jealous that I wasn't there, man.
You know, but hey, I'm going to say this too, man. You know what? One of my buddies that went with me, he fucking really hooked us up, man. This guy's smart, and I'm going to throw this out to all the guys out there. But when you go to a concert like that, and one of my buddies did this, he got some blank cardstock, just white cardstock. Looks like, you know, business cards.
Yeah.
He wrote the name of the hotel. He wrote the room number of the hotel, his cell number, and his name. And he took about 200 of these to the show. And he would try, he really wasn't into the gig.
Right.
You know, me and my other buddy were. He's like, dude, I'm going to work on the pussy for after the show. And he started working the crowd, and we had a really good after party at the hotel.
Why didn't he just fucking go ahead and get business cards made?
That I don't know. I mean, I never even thought of that, and I saw him in the hotel room writing shit down. Dude, what are you doing? And he told me, I was like, fuck, dude. You're the fucking man. Well,
I see. I would have been the opposite.
How would he have business cards made if he didn't know the hotel room and shit?
Oh, that's true.
You know what I mean?
No, you're right. You're right.
But now here's the thing, T. We stayed at the Crowne Plaza in Dallas. You can't just walk in there and go into the elevator section if you don't have a room.
Yeah, how the hell did that happen?
They have security. He had to go down there and meet every
single
girl.
time?
It's like 14 girls come to our room.
Fucking crazy.
I didn't even realize that. I'm starting to think, what the fuck were they thinking at the front desk?
Dude, not just that, right? I gotta wonder what kind of woman just fucking does that.
Well, no, I mean, he's a good-looking
what kind of
guy.
That's not what I'm saying,
No,
dude.
right,
You're
right.
walking into a situation that you don't know what the fuck you're walking into.
No, you're not going in there. Hey, look, he's putting it out straight. Look, we're having an after party. If you want to bring a friend, bring a friend.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay,
if you want to do whatever else.
Yeah, but
he
the
was
way you
buying him
described
drink,
it, I
he
was like,
being
what
cool.
the fuck?
He wasn't just walking around handing these things out, people calling.
Yeah.
He's working the room.
He's
team.
working the room.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's a 2.5 hour show. This guy's out there, but he gave out about 200 cards.
Fuck.
So, I mean, that shit works, man.
I guess the ratio isn't that great.
Right. So, hey, man, let me play a little bit of that Go Fuck Yourself.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
we're
for
going to
sure.
cut into the middle of the song, dude, but I'm going to go ahead and play it.
Talking to myself again. Every day I think about the words you said. All these
Yeah, man. So it's just a taste of what he does. And basically the last line is, I mean, dude, if I got to think about it, where do you think you stand?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, bitch, stop your shit. If I got to think about even I want to be with you anymore, where do you stand?
I think it's kind of awesome that he just kind of lets it go and just says, flat out, go fuck yourself.
I mean,
you know what I mean? Like, a lot of artists won't go to that length. You know what I mean?
Well, let's play the beginning, man, so everyone could hear it.
Yeah.
Right?
I love
Let's
that.
do it, man. Let's do it.
Go for it.
This is the beginning, man.
Gotta think about, gotta think about. Gotta think about, gotta think about.
Here I am, girl, talking to myself again. Every night I think about the way to end. All these accusations, all these allegations. Do you wanna know what I really think about them? All these situations, riding on my patience. Do you wanna know what I really think about you, baby? Go fuck yourself.
Bitch, it's like I said. Dude, this guy's just the best.
Fuck, dude, he's the man, dude.
That's what I'm saying, man. I mean, his music is just so good,
Hey,
man.
Dr. X, you got to get this motherfucker on the show.
Dude, right? We're trying, man. I've fucking been trying to I'm in his fan club, and actually he calls all his fans motherfuckers.
Nice.
So, you're one of the motherfuckers, man. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, I've been trying to reach out to him, dude. I mean, he's blowing up, dude.
Yeah.
That Nevermind song that he does, and I'm just going to play a quick bit of it, and everyone knows what it is, but this is on the BMW commercials now.
Yeah.
This was a mistake.
What do you mean it was a mistake?
This wasn't the song he made. This is the song he made.
Alright, I'm ready now,
This is more his speed.
So what did he do, remix it?
His friend of his owned a club in Israel and told him, dude, I love your music, man. Can you spin one of your songs so I can play it in my club?
And so he remixed it?
He remixed it, gave it to his buddy. His buddy is the one who put it on Spotify.
And it
got
just
3 million
fucking-
downloads in a week.
Fuck.
And BMW said, we want it.
Yeah.
And now this guy's on Kimmel. He's on everything. He's going to blow up, dude.
Yeah.
This guy's just ridiculous.
All right, so let's get him now.
I mean, right? I mean, we got to get him early, dog. You know what I mean? The
Hey.
last thing, dude, I just want to throw this out.
Yeah.
I got to play one spot that I know everyone sort of probably might think is corny, but I want to play the beginning of this song because it's my favorite Dennis Lloyd song, and one spot that I really like. All right?
Yeah.
So you ready?
Yeah.
All right. It's called Never Go Back.
I never go back, no, no, no. I never go back. I never go back, no, no, no. I never go back.
It's not my baby, not the girl I knew then, not the girl I know now anymore. I wanna leave you, baby, don't you leave me, baby, don't you love me anymore. Always look around, girl, trying to see the good thing. Why you always say that you never done wrong? Why you never hold me? Tell me that you love me. Why you always say that you never let go?
I never go back, no, no, no. I never go back. I never go back, no, no, no. I never go back.
I wanna do this, I don't wanna do this.
This is a good jam, dude. I really
is.
like this. So there's a part in here, man, and that's what I want to play for everybody, and it's going to be a little bit later in this song, and you're going to see some of his skills on the fucking trumpet, dog. So I'm going to scoot it up a little bit, and we're going to listen to it. Here it comes, man. Listen to this.
Why you always say that you never done wrong? Why you never hold me? Tell me that you love me. Why you always say that you never let go?
I never go back, no, no, no. I never go back. I never go back, no, no, no. I never go back.
Oh, man, I can listen to this shit all day, T. Fuck, I love this guy, man.
Dude,
You see what I'm talking about, right?
hey,
It's just
hey,
so smooth
hey.
and incorporates in, right?
Hey,
It's just good, man.
Hey, shut up. I'm listening to it.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost over anyway, man. The song,
No, I fucking dig this guy. Ever since you turned me on to him, man, it's just, this
dude.
guy's awesome.
Dude, you know what? Yeah, I mean, again, I really like this guy's probably like on the top of my list right now. Fuck, I flew halfway across the country to go watch him play in a club.
Yeah.
You know, and that's really how I felt about him. And I want to put him out there for everybody. We're probably going to pub him a little bit on the site.
Yeah.
I got my motherfucker t-shirt.
Nice.
You know what I mean? But fuck T, man. You know, I don't know if you've noticed T, but I've been losing a little bit of weight. And my double X's are sort of hanging on me.
Why? From your belly to your ass?
No, man, but I fucking bought a double X and the fucking thing felt me like a sausage casing.
Well, okay.
But it seemed like a chick shirt. You know, like those t-shirts that are like real thin.
The thin?
Oh, I don't like those, dude. I want like a beefy tee. You know what I mean?
You know, I figured that you were in Texas, so you know, getting a double X would have been more like getting an RV cover.
Yeah. Well,
you know, I mean, because Texas, I mean, they're big boys over there.
Yeah, but this guy's not from Texas. He's from Israel.
Yeah, I know
so
that.
So he's bringing his own stuff.
I'm just saying. You kind of got to know where you're going, too. If you're going to walk into Texas, you got to make sure you have the sizes for them. You know, was there a lot of big dudes?
No, not really.
No? Oh, okay.
There was a lot of women.
A lot more than you anticipated.
Way more. So just imagine if there was 2,000 people, 1,400 women.
Really?
That's what surprised me.
Really?
Yeah. It really surprised me.
Yeah, that kind of threw me then. Fuck, man.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a sausage fest, like I said. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man. But, hey, that's going to close up my Dennis Lloyd bit, but that's where I was. You know, we tried to make this thing a little bit better. We're probably going to do another spot later on with him. And, fuck, he's my man.
It better be with him.
Well, I'm trying, dude. I fucking been working it.
You got to work it harder, man.
Yeah, because there ain't nobody else working that shit here. Anyway, man.
Anyway, you got to start getting all sour grapes and shit.
I'm not sour grapes, dude, but hey, Dr. X, man, hey, we're going to miss you next week.
Yep.
All right, man, hurry back. You know what I mean? Because we really want you back. Dude, don't laugh. Dude, what the fuck, bro? You know what I mean,
you know why?
Dog.
Because you're not even fucking sincere about it.
But I am. I'm giving him the hard pump right now, dude.
Dude, you're not, but it's so fucking fake. Dude, it's so
quit
contrived,
fucking calling me out, dog.
Oh, my God. That's why I'm laughing, man.
I know, Dick, but he was falling for it, bro.
No, he wasn't, dude. No, he does.
He sucks it up sometimes, dog.
Dude,
oh, you're killing me, Smalls. All right, man. So I think that's gonna wrap us up, right?
That's it, man. Let's close this shit show.
Yeah, let's go ahead and close it up, man. You know. So, oh, wait a minute, T.
What?
Fuck, dude. This is the 4th of July edition.
Oh, fuck. We got somebody on hold. Fuck, I forgot about him. That's a lot of nuts.
Dude,
holy shit.
Is he still on the line?
Oh, fuck, I hope so.
Oh, my gosh, dude. Fuck, you fucking...
Hey, Dr. X, is he still on the line? Check it out for us.
Yeah, he's there.
Oh, thumbs up, yeah.
Dude.
Hey, fucking way to go, Sparky.
All right, man. So we got a little bit of some special stuff for you guys. Fuck, man. Dude, fucking Sparky hanging out. Dude, he's going to be pissed, dog. All right, don't tell him, though.
Let's not even mention it.
Yeah, don't even say nothing. Just get into it. But what we're going to do is we're going to do a little special 4th of July edition for you. Sparky here is a pyrotechnician. Is that what you call him?
Fuck, I don't know what you call him, dude. Ask him.
He's the guy who lights the fucking fireworks.
Yeah. But I mean, ask him. I don't know what his official title is, dude.
Right. So let's go ahead and talk to Sparky right now, man, and do a little 4th of July fireworks extravaganza for you. Sparky, are you there, buddy? Can you hear me?
Hey, RWT, Sweetie, how you guys doing?
Good. We're doing
What's
good,
up, Spark?
man. What's up, brother? How you doing, man? Thanks for joining us, man. We really appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, we know that you're really busy right now, especially this time of year, so we appreciate you taking the time to kind of just call in and, talk to us.
Yeah, we just thought it'd be,
big time fan of the show. I'm glad to actually call in and talk with you guys.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
that.
And that was what I was going to say, too. I know, Sparky, man, you've been a listener for a while, man, and we just want to say we really appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, he's one of the first, I think. He's been, and he's one of the guys that's always emailing us and texting us and all kinds of shit, saying, "Hey guys, what about this? Hey guys, what about that?"
That's how we knew how to get a hold of him.
Yeah, exactly.
We have that communication with him. So it's just going to continue, Sparky. And you know what, man? Hey, we're going to bring you out here when we can. But right now, man, we want to talk about a little bit of your profession, dude. So, what do you technically call yourself? You're not like a firework lighter. What do you call yourself?
Pyrotechnic or
pyrotechnician?
Oh,
yeah,
pyrotechnician. There you go. All right.
Or just a pyro.
Pyro, yeah.
So, I mean, do you do like these really big events at the parks and things like that, or what do you really do? What are the events you kind of do, or your company does? What do you guys do? Why'd you talk about it?
Yeah, our company usually contracts our crew out, so we usually get different shows depending, and we've been able to contract one. It is out at Alamitos Bay down in Long Beach. It's put on by the Boathouse, and they put on the show, and all the money they collect goes to charity. And what we do is we go out there, and it being a Bay area show, we're limited to 4-inch shells. And last year we were able to talk to the inspectors and talk to the city people, and we got them up to a 5-inch shell. So anything inland, like Disneyland, they do 4-inch. We actually got to show up to the 5-inch. So we kind of brag that we're the biggest in the 5-6 exterior code. We've also done Malibu Colony, where we're out in the ocean. So we're out in the middle of the ocean, and since we're out there, we have free range. So our shells actually go up to 10 inches. So we get the big booms out there.
So why don't you go ahead and tell our listeners a little bit? I don't mean to cut you off, but what is the difference between a 4-inch, a 5-inch, and a 10-inch? Well, I mean, no. Come on. Fuck, dude, you should have seen this guy's face over here, Sparky. Come on. This is all he thinks about, bro. This is what I'm talking about.
I'm setting them up so you can lock them down.
Right? Exactly, man.
Fuck, I don't even have to say anything.
Right?
Fuck.
So, I mean, I know, okay, man, but it's about talking what you're talking
King,
about,
you're
brother.
a fucking idiot sometimes.
I know,
love it.
dog.
I
But
love
I'm just saying, man. I mean, okay, why don't you just tell us the difference of these shells, man? And
There you go.
You know,
The
what
size
is it?
of the
Is it-
shells.
Yeah, is it the...
Okay. If
Does
you go
size
into, like,
matter?
a 3-inch. Yeah, a 3-inch will be maybe the size of your fist. The 3 inches can usually be, a loud bang. There could be some sparkles. The higher the firework goes, the bigger the shell, the higher it goes. The bigger the bang, the more stuff you get out of it. Our 10-inch shells are usually the size of a human head, or sometimes bigger.
That's
Usually
big.
when those go up, when they go up extremely high, because some of them give out one big explosion. Some of them give out, like you've seen, where it does the main explosion, and off of that, all the little explosions come off of that. So you get all the little bees and the screamers and all that stuff that comes off the main shell.
So those are usually, when we see those ones go off, those are usually the bigger shells then.
Yes, yeah.
So how long
And
have you
then,
been doing this, man?
I've been doing it, I said pretty close to 10 years. The person I've been shooting with has done it maybe getting close to 15, and I've done this with my son. He's been doing this for 5 years. So
Wow.
Oh, that's sort of cool, man.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, and I'm sure, I mean, it's obviously dangerous and everything else. And have you witnessed or been experienced any kind of accidents out there when you guys are doing it?
Yes and no.
All right.
You can't really say, I'm pretty sure.
Well, if you can't
If there's
say, we don't
anybody
want to throw it
listening,
out
just-
there. You know what I mean? But I mean,
Yeah.
it just seems like. And how did my question, Sparky, always is. I mean, how do you light this shit? Is it done by a computer? Because I've seen that sometimes. Or do you guys still old school it with like a road flare? How do you do it, man?
Or do you guys just got like a cigarette that's burning and you go and you just hit it?
I've done that.
That's what I'm talking about, brother.
Sparky
back
does
in
it the
day, they were
getaway.
all hand lit.
Oh,
I
fuck.
said Sparky does it the getaway, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, you got to do what
Yeah,
you got to do, man, right? Hey.
Back in the day, they were all hand lit, and so they were done all hand lit, and you had the dangers of them just imploding on you. It doesn't go up; it goes out, and it's gonna nail you. You know, you got the chance of catching on fire. You know, losing a couple fingers or whatever. So, for safety reasons, they've actually gone to an electric match, which lights up to the fuse, and then all that gets wired into a board, which runs back to a pin board. And so we just set it up to a pin board, and as we go through the program, we shoot off each individually one. And now with technology coming up, what they're doing now is they do have computerized shows, so everything's set up, and the guy sits there, hits a button, and it's all done by computer. But with that happening, sometimes something will go wrong, and you will get the world-famous 15-second San Diego show. So my crew really doesn't like the whole computer thing. We still do the pin board, the kind of the older style. And then there's a lot of stuff coming up now that is going to be either wireless or can be done through your phone. And what they'll do is they got the system that has a frequency. It's like a government frequency through your phone, so nobody can just go on and hit it and remote set it off. It's directly to your phone and your phone only. So
it's like heavily
we can start
encrypted.
shooting it from, we can shoot it from far away. So we don't even have to be within the field, and we can be somewhere else and
Now,
set
what,
it off. So,
what, Sparky, what happens when something goes wrong? You know what I mean? So you just kind of walked us through on how the different ways that you guys can launch these things. Well, what if something goes wrong? What if something doesn't launch? I mean, you know, I know that when we used to do things, not that I have any experience with the small little mortars that are illegals, but I remember a couple times when they didn't go off, you kind of approach cautiously because you don't know if that thing's ever going to go off while your head is over there going, hey, what happened here? You know what I mean? So what happens?
We do is, we will shoot the show, and as the show's going off, if something didn't go off because of the wiring, while we're getting further away from where that firework is at, usually somebody would go out and try and rewire it or get it set up so they can get back in and try and relaunch it again. Now, if that doesn't happen at the end of the show, when the show's done, we got to give a few minutes just so whatever is still embering can go off if it hasn't gone off, or just give it a few minutes to cool down, and then we go out, and whatever hasn't gone off, if they're smaller shells, we line them up by hand. If they're bigger shells, we try and rewire them and set them off again. If they don't go off the second time, then we just rebox them, send them back to the company. We'll let our customer know, hey, you know, these many didn't go off. You know, this is your credit towards your next show.
Gotcha.
Sometimes what happens too is like the cakes, there'll be a box, and maybe they'll do 50 shots, 200 shots, 500 shots. And sometimes those are the dangerous ones because they go off and they're pretty cool. But halfway through, the line breaks or something goes off, and, you know, it just duds out. And so towards the end of the show, we're watching it because if there's still a fire going on, we've happened to where, you know, the show's done and 30 seconds later, boom, there goes the cake again. It got relit and it's going off. So we usually do a cool down period before we go out. And then after the cool down period, it's usually the shooter and one experienced guy will go out and actually physically kind of check them. And then if something needs to be done, the shooter will go back to get ready. The experienced guy rewires it. We set it off, or it goes off by hand. We've done, if it's a bigger shell, we try not to set it off, but we've had a 1x8, and we tie up a rope flare to it, set it off, and just lean out and try and hit it to have it go off. The problems with that is we are worried about the implosions. There's times where, like I said, it goes out instead of up. So the bigger the shell, the less risk that we're going to take to try and get it to go off.
Wow.
So, like, these shows, Sparky, like you talk about, like the big shows, like, you know, with the using the big shells and stuff like that.
Yeah.
How many shells do you typically use in a normal show?
It varies on the show. If we do a graduation, maybe 80. If we do like a Quake Stadium or Dodger Stadium, maybe about 120. If we do a city show, you're getting anywhere from 425 to maybe 550 shells. What
are the costs of these shows, brother? Do you know?
It depends on the show. Also, like the graduations, maybe $3,000. If you get the big shows, you're looking at maybe anywhere from $425 to $500,000.
Damn, wow, man. $500,000.
And that's what these cities put out when they have these big 4th of July events, right?
For an 18 to 30-minute show, depending on what they're buying. Yeah.
Wow.
Fuck,
that's something, man.
Hey, the other question I got, man, is there debris that comes down from these shells?
They have it set up to where a lot of the debris that comes down, like the stuff that we do inland, in city, it will come down within the area. We can actually clean it up, get it all up. The stuff that we actually shoot on the ocean, we have environmentalists that go out before we shoot. They're collecting water. After we shoot, they run back out. They collect the water again, you know, trying to nab us on, you know, being, you know, environmental terrorists. But most of the shells that we have for the oceans,
you kind of do look a little terrorist. You do.
No.
I mean, come on, bro. We've seen you. You know,
I can't be a terrorist because I'm actually licensed. Well, the guys that actually do the work are licensed through the government. There's a background check. You know, we've gone through 15 different government agencies, so we are well looked at.
No, I'm just saying you look like one. That's all.
Oh yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, there's that. Yeah, well, there's that.
Yeah, all right, man. Yeah.
Hey, Sparky, I got a question for you, man. So you're talking to us about, you know, doing, you know, graduations or, you know, baseball games and also doing stuff that are on the water. So obviously there are two different types of scenarios because one's on the land, one's on, I'm assuming on a boat or something like that.
Yeah, on a barge.
On a barge. There you go. So what's the main difference as far as challenges when you're setting up for a show like that? You know, I mean, between land and ocean.
the biggest challenge is anything that we do on land. If we need to run the Whitecap, if we need to run the Home Depot, we can do that. If we need some stuff last minute, we can try and get it. Do whatever we do to get the show done. Where you, on a barge show, you got to think ahead and grab stuff whether you need it or not, because once you set sail, that's it. And if you don't have it, then you're screwed. So
That's tough.
That's got to be real tough, man. You know,
Yeah.
anybody ever fall off a barge when you're setting up?
Not for my crew, no. No.
Okay, anybody
But
ever
it
been
has been known to happen.
anybody ever purposely accidentally fallen off? Like, see, if King and I were on a barge together and we were setting up a show, I may, you know, be setting up next time, and then oops, I slipped and fell and pushed him, and oops, he just would, you know, accidentally fell over.
Usually when we're on the barge, you know, anytime we're doing the shows, the hard hats are required. That's the one thing that, you know, we're mandated, our hard hats and, you know, our shoes. And when we're actually on the barge, it's required. If we're in Los Angeles County, it's required by the Coast Guard. You know, Long Beach Police Department will require life vests. So anytime we're on the barge, we have the life vests.
Do you wear
There's got to
floaties?
be a count of how many people are on the barge. We usually work on the buddy system, so if one guy goes down, we know, you know, we have a head count. If something happens, we're quick.
Yeah, but do you wear floaties?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. I gotta get a picture of that. You know, Sparky on a barge with floaties on. Fuck, that'd be great. Oh, that'd be
The
perfect
nice
for the
cute little,
website.
wrist and ankle little floaties.
Yeah, no, just around your arms. You know what I mean? You get the little floaties like the kids with the arms. That'd be
What
perfect
we
for the
do is,
website.
usually the newbies that come on, they will get the big giant SpongeBob foam life vest, the ones that really don't let you move around. The experienced guys already know we get ours through the construction work that's been done. And so we get the ones that, you know, they're flat, and so you get ready to go over and you're yanking that cord to just have it pop out. So
Wow, that's kind of cool, man.
Hey,
Yeah.
no, all this stuff's sort of cool to me, man. When I was a kid growing up, this was my favorite holiday was the 4th of July,
hell
man.
yeah.
I loved making all sorts of stuff in
Yeah.
my house, you know,
Yeah.
open up the firecrackers and shit. You
Burn
know the
down
deal,
the house,
right?
maybe.
Well, that
And,
was because that
there are
skyrocketed
also-
one time.
Yeah.
yeah, we also do have the smaller ones. They're maybe 1.5. They're the itty bitty shells. They're smaller than the size of your fist, but there is no color to them. No, that's just a big bang. So those go up there to the titanium salutes. Those are the ones that you'll hear that just echo out the canyons, or, you know, just those are the noisemakers. We
Just
send
for
maybe
noise.
one or two of those with some of the color, and that's what gives it the big bang.
Right on.
Yeah, no, hey, yeah, no. Hey, listen, we're gonna be stopping pretty soon, but I got one more question, man.
Yeah.
Is this stuff all like inventoried by the government?
Yes, it is. Everything comes in. The
Damn,
fireworks
dude.
come in through China.
So I can't
There's
get
stuff
any
that
of
is
them from
made
you?
in-house. You can get them. What you have to do is, if you pull the permit with the city.
No,
No,
he's
I
saying-
said from you, bro.
He's
I
saying
said from
from
you.
Like, oops, I miscounted.
Yeah, oops.
There are,
Oh no, that wasn't
there are-
12, dude. That was 9. Come on.
Yeah.
there are guys out there who are willing to put their license at risk. But yeah, something like that, you're looking at more than just losing your license.
All right, so can you introduce us to them?
Do you know any of those guys? Can you introduce us to them, right? So-
Hey, after the show, man, when we're off the air, you know, just kind of slightly, you know, hey, call this guy. This is the number.
yeah, we won't even know what you're talking about.
Right.
man.
Have no
We
idea,
don't
right?
remember.
Right? Because none of this
Yeah,
is
definitely.
recorded.
But
Yeah.
hey, Sparky, man, hey, we're gonna cut you off here, and we're gonna say thanks again,
right.
man. This is a great bit. We want to, bring you back for something else later. We talked
Not a
about that,
problem.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know if you guys have pictures going up in your site, you know, I'll send some out to you, so you know, your listeners can actually see, like, some of the specialty fireworks, like the hearts or the smiley faces. They can see what that firework actually looks like in the shell and what it looks like up in the air.
Yeah, so just
Send it, man.
Yeah,
send it,
us the
dude. We'll
pics,
post
man.
that
We'll
thing
post
before
that.
the show drops. This show's gonna drop on Tuesday. 4th of July is on Thursday, right?
Thursday. So whatever
Yeah,
you got, send
definitely.
it to us, and we'll post it up on the
Hey,
site.
you know, and the other thing, Sparky,
Yeah.
man, I know, fuck,
Yeah,
I just already closed out, but I just want to tell you something real quick. So we were talking
Yeah.
before this, me and T, and basically one of the questions is like, how many shows do you do in that 4th of July week, bro?
Usually everybody tries and get a show. The company deals them all out, so we are guaranteed a 4th of July show. We've done Malibu colonies. We have problems sometimes getting the barges because the construction workers either need the barges or this year the Navy has contracted the barges, so they cut a lot of the barge shows down. We're lucky enough that we are getting our barge donated, so we actually do have a barge to do our show for the 3rd. And then
cool.
our 3rd of July show, we contracted ourselves, so that's not considered a 4th of July show, so we actually do get a back-to-back show. And we've been one of maybe 3 crews that have done a 3rd and 4th of July barge show. This year we can't do that, so we're going to do Alamitos Bay on the 3rd, and we'll be in the City of Commerce on the 4th. So we got a beach show and a city show.
Oh, cool. So you're going to do
it's
2
gonna be
shows.
A little interesting. Yeah, it's going to be interesting on the 3rd to do our beach show and then try and get everything cleaned up, end of the truck, drive up to Commerce, and meet the truck there to do the whole setup and all over again. So.
Oh, that's got to smell
gonna be
funky, dude. Being on a barge in the ocean like that for how many days and then having to go right over there. God, I don't want to be in that car. I'm just saying, dude, I don't want to be in that
we
car.
What are you thinking
We
about,
get out
man?
to July 1st to set up, and then we leave port on the 3rd, and we're coming back on the 5th. So.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's going to
that's
smell
tough,
ripe.
Hey, listen again.
That's why the crew has their own sections. They work with their buddies, and make sure
So
you
you're
don't
cool with
keep
your
all the salty
partner's
dogs in
stink.
one area.
Right on, man. Hey, Sparky, thanks
Sparky.
again, brother. We
Not a
appreciate you,
problem.
man,
Hey,
so
it's a
much.
pleasure talking to you guys.
Hey, happy 4th of July, Sparky.
Hey,
Not
happy
just
Fourth,
that.
guys.
Hey, you know what, though, Sparky? We just want to give you a shout out while we're talking to you. Thanks for everything, man. We appreciate you. Keep listening. Keep pubbing us.
Not a problem. Big fan of the show. I publicize it with family, friends, wherever I can, because you know what? You guys are doing a great job. It's a great show, guys.
Yeah,
We appreciate it.
I think
man.
your daughter's a fan too, right? You were telling me
My daughter, my son, her friends, they're going out there. We've been getting it, so it's become a family show for us.
Nice,
that's
thanks.
nice,
We're not
man.
very family friendly, so
Yeah,
that just says a lot about your family. But hey, we love you anyway, man.
They are adults, so
Okay, all right. There you go.
yeah, we don't got kids listening to it. It is an adult. Yeah.
All right.
All right, thanks a lot, Sparky.
Hey,
Take
again.
it easy, man.
All right,
And hey,
guys,
you know what?
happy
Be
Fourth.
safe out there. Really, be
Yeah,
safe
be
out
safe,
there.
brother. Go ahead and send those pics to T, and we'll go ahead and post them, man. And we just want to keep the interaction going with you, man. We appreciate you. Thanks again, man. And happy 4th of July to you, brother.
Thank you, guys. Happy 4th. All right.
All right, man. So, hey, fucking Sparky was on it, dude.
Sparky's a man, dude.
Dude, fuck,
I
that
like
shit was
Sparky,
good. Yeah,
dude. You know what?
absolutely, dude.
That was actually a really good interview. We got to have him back again.
Yeah, I liked the part because he said he liked our show.
Well, yeah, exactly.
But fuck, his kids, everybody's listening to it,
everybody,
man. Yeah.
dude.
No,
Like
absolutely.
I said, we're not a family-friendly show, so fuck, I don't know about Sparky's family. But hey, more power to him.
Absolutely.
You do you.
You do you, boo.
You do you, boo.
Oh, you're
All right,
fucking-
so now let's close this shit show.
Absolutely, man.
Now that
Dr.
we
X,
almost fucked
good show,
Sparky.
baby. Yeah, fuck, dude. Damn, dude, we almost fucking forgot Sparky, dude.
Okay,
But
kids.
you know what we did forget, and we'll bring it up the next show, guys, is we have the notes for our hoodie contest.
Fuck yeah.
All right, it's going to run all the way until football season starts in September.
Which leads me into my next point, kids. Don't do crack.
All right. Good
It's one
mama
of those
say,
shows.
good mama say, good mama say.
Mama shit? Mama shit?
So,
You mean Roy Orbison?
yeah, exactly. Hey, look, man. Thanks for
Coach
everybody for sticking around. Fucking thanks for dealing with our idiocy. All right. And again, visit our website, guys. Please visit our Patreon. We're on every aspect out there.
Look at the show
iTunes.
links. There's links to our website. There's link to our Patreons in the show notes.
Keep the inspirations coming, the suggestions coming, everything else. Just keep all that shit coming, guys. We love it. We're having a great time.
We actually added into our show notes now our email address so that you could send us an email too. So it's a lot easier for you guys to get at us. And it's easy. It's getatus@thedoubleshow.com.
Right on, man. So, yeah, guys, we're making it accessible for you guys. We got a couple guys every day sending us stuff. That'd be like guys like Sparky and Olaf. But let's make the community bigger, man.
Fuck yeah.
Let's challenge them a little bit, T. Come on, guys. Just drop us a line. You like us, you hate us, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Oh, and if you hate us, you go to the top of the list. We'll read some of that shit.
Absolutely will, especially if it's
Ooh,
good.
I love hate mail.
I do too, man. So we're
Some
going to
of
go.
us get creative too.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. So let's go ahead and sign off, T, man. It's been a good show.
Yeah,
I
it's
want to
been
thank
great.
everybody again. I know, we got our in with our music, T, but can I sign off with a little Dennis Lloyd too today?
Fuck it.
All right, man. I'm loving this guy, T. It's just, he's like my man crush right now. You know what I mean? So it just is what it is.
We'll sign off with him.
Yeah, exactly, man. So again, thanks to Dr. X. Thank you, Sweet Tea. Good job.
You too?
You know, for Incoherent Idiocy and the Double I Experience, I am R.W. King. He is
Sweet Tea, and we are
out.
I never go back, no, no, no. I never go back. I never go back, no, no, no. I never go back.
It's not my baby, no te queda nude, no te queda nona anymore. I wanna leave you, baby, don't you leave me, baby, don't you love me more. Always look around, girl, trying to see the good thing. Why you always say that you never done wrong? Why you never hold me? Tell me that you love me. Why you always say that you never let go?
I never go back, no, no, no. I never go back. I never go